What is up, my friends? We are at Champions Retreat, just outside of Augusta, Georgia. One of the premier clubs I've ever seen. This place is spectacular. We're at the VGA, Veterans Golfers Association. We're at their Armed Forces Cup. I'm going to show you how to warm up, how I warm up properly for an event right before you go play. Let's do it. First club I like to start with, 54 degree wedge. And I'm just taking these short little 20-yard shots. Nothing full. And each time I'm just trying to go a little farther for every shot. I do not start with my most lofted club. The 54 has a bit more bounce on it, so it just helps me glide through that turf a lot better. Sometimes I'll use alignment sticks, but I usually reserve that for practice personally. And this is not practice, this is warm up before you play. And I'm focused on just clean ball contact with this club and getting good balance on my follow through. 5, 6 shots only, 7, whatever, 54. Put her back. Then I'm going up 2 clubs. So my next club is a 50. We're gonna skip that one. I'm gonna go to the pitching wedge. So 2 clubs up. I'll pull out the amount of balls I want to hit here. 2, 4, 6, might do 8 pitching wedges. And I'm doing the exact same thing I did with my 54. Smooth, maybe about 70% swings. And all I'm trying to see is, what ball flight do I have today? It's pretty straight, starting a line with a little fade. And I'm not necessarily going faster or farther every time. I'm just trying to get that same swing tempo here every time with my pitching wedge. I don't care about distance. I just care about ball contact and what's the ball doing in the air.
That's pretty cool. Take a shot for me. Okay. I think that's in. You just hold. Okay. It's the shoe.
Pitching wedge. That's it. I don't care how good or bad that last one is. I'm only doing a certain number of shots. Pitching wedge. Clean it up, take a little break, a little breather, go up 2 clubs, 8 iron next. 8 iron, I'm doing the same thing. 2, 4, 6, 8 shots with my 8 iron. Keep it simple. And I'm doing the same swing energy as I did with that pitching wedge. 75%. Tempo, contact. Balance. I don't care if it flies 130 yards, 160 yards, it doesn't matter. And when you hit a bad shot, I'm not going to rush to hit the next one. It's like, oh, let me undo it as quickly as possible. It doesn't work that way. If anything, I want to keep the same rhythm, tempo between every shot. So I don't want to hit them bam, 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 but I don't want to take too much time in between either. I'm trying to create, let's say, a rhythm, a pace even for the day that I'm going to play. I find when I rush on the golf course, hitting balls to warm up too fast, what I'll inevitably do is rush on the golf course.
Hey, just like I did yesterday. Hey, do you know my favorite song? I was like, what's that? He goes,
and what I love is, as I warm up, and I'm trying to keep that 75% swing, as you go longer clubs, you'll just naturally start swinging a little faster every time. And I'm just picking out targets. And then, like, I have a swing routine, right, on course. I'll line up behind the ball, I'll line it up, then I step in. I don't necessarily do that every time, but for every shot, from here until ball contact, I'm trying to do that swing routine. So I'm here, waggle, waggle, swing. So I'm doing my pre-shot routine. I'm just taking out the walk-up part. So it kind of just begins at this point. Line up, boom. Those are my 8 irons. Great, clean that off. Take a break. Put my stuff back. Next club, 2 clubs up, 6 iron. Now my 6 iron, I'm going to change the number of balls. I'm going 6 balls, 2, 4, 6. I want to spend more time with the shorter clubs and less time with the longer clubs. So I'm just picking my target out there, beautiful, 6 iron. Yeah. I'm just trying to, same 75%, even with that 6 iron.
super interesting. I never, like my irons I played, never made them 6s.
And this is the balance. That's what I want. Finish, hold your finish. That's what I'm telling myself. I don't want any of that stuff going on. 6 irons. Now some people will say, oh, hit some draws, hit some fades. do all that kind of stuff. You could, if that's something you practice on your normal day-to-day. But if it's not, you kind of just want to see what you got for the day.
No, just for shits and giggles.
Got that fat shot. It's gonna happen. Shake it off, not a big deal. It's a warm-up. We're not trying to change my golf swing or anything. Five. Last 6 iron.
I tried to call you. Sorry, I had this thing up on my shoulder. I was going to drive it here.
Same thing. Now, I'm not carrying a 4 iron right now. So 2 clubs up would be my 7 wood. 7 wood. 7 wood. How many 7 woods you can do? All right, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 7 woods. So 1 less than those 6 irons. And I use this a lot on course. I typically won't tee this up, so I'm not gonna tee it up at the range. Again, I am trying to go 75%. As you get longer clubs, it's going to be just naturally a faster swing. So like, I love keeping that 75% number in my head. Because then I could just keep my balance, my tempo, my timing.
I just picked it up. I was waiting for them to phone me.
And hopefully the same ball contact. Again, I'm watching ball flight. So I know, like, hey, this is what's going on today.
I think I gotta do this too.
If it's dramatically different than your normal shot, hey, that might be what you're playing on course.
Removing it, pre-percussion again. Force doing that. I wouldn't want to do it.
Now, I only have 3 more clubs left in my bag. So typically I'll go, been going 2 clubs up. So what I'm gonna do is get that 3 wood and see what I've got off the turf with the 3 wood. And I'll probably just do 3 shots, typically, is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do many of these during the course of the round, off the ground or even the tee box. So I'm not gonna do a whole lot here. So same thing, 3 shots, 3 wood. That was really good. So I really like that. I need to give myself a good lie as if it's teed up, but just a good lie, because I'm only gonna hit it if I got a great lie in the fairway or I'm teed up.
Dude, I didn't know old man could hit it that far. That's impressive.
And that feels really good. Just one more, I don't need a whole lot. Just seeing what kind of contact I get, if I have confidence to use this on the golf course. And if I swing like that, I'm gonna use it a lot. Or I'm gonna be confident when I have an opportunity. Moving on to driver. All right, so we've taken our time warming up. Now I'm grabbing tees, taking a breather, been hitting it great. I'm gonna keep that same rhythm, tempo, power level in my head as we go. And what I'll do is hit 5 drivers. I don't want to do too many more. You know, it's debatable, right? You can hit 10, you can hit 20. 20 is a lot. How much do you practice? You know, if you practice a lot, you hit a ton of clubs, a ton of balls, then you could probably hit more. But you're gonna be on the course a long day. So I just want 5. And a lot of times we'll get in this mode where, oh, I'm hitting it bad, so I'm gonna keep hitting till I work it out. If you're about to go play, you ain't working anything out. That's not happening. I'm just taking the approach I would on the golf course and say, I'm gonna have to swing. So let me get my aim, rhythm, tempo, timing. Beautiful. 2. And these ones, I don't set out the balls ahead of time. I'm gonna reach in, grab a clean ball, and do a little more pre-shot routine here. Because, you know, this is a critical shot on the golf course. So you wanna work on it. That was a little miss, but it's down the fairway, high fade. I'm cool with that.
Hey, Chong, how are you?
It's always picking my target is the key for your drives.
Good day, you left 7. Fighter jet. Yeah.
75, 80% is what I want. You're gonna naturally swing faster on the golf course. So if you can dial it back before you go, you're gonna be in much better shape. But if I'm going 120% out here, you're gonna do 150% on the golf course.
You can do that all day.
That's great. I don't care good or bad. What I care about is rhythm, tempo, timing, and that will equal good balance. I'm not done here though. Inevitably, you're gonna have some of your most lofted shots on the golf course. You could go out to the short game area and work on this, whatever. I like to do it here. And I've just got my 60-degree wedge, and I'm gonna kind of calm everything down now. Little shots, little guys, like that. You just worked your way up to the driver, and so many times on the golf course, you have driver, iron, one of these. So I just want to get a few 60s under my bed to kind of settle down. Just kind of see what contact I'm getting, what ball contact I'm getting. Maybe try a little higher one. Just kind of whatever few shots you have till you feel really pretty confident. That feels good. Got a couple more things to do before we hit the golf course so that we're 100% prepared. for the day ahead. If the place you're at has a practice bunker, then I'm gonna hit some bunker shots before I go play. And I'm gonna hit 5 of them. That's it. This is not the time to work on your bunker game. You had all week to do that. Now you're playing golf. All I care about here is how I make contact with the sand. We're just trying to find out what the sand is like, and can I get the ball out kind of where I'm looking. Okay, rain last night, firm packed sand, it's not too fluffy. Cool, can I hit it in the spot I'm looking? That was pretty good. So I'm hitting it where I'm looking. So I like that. Sometimes I might hit it 2 inches behind where I'm looking. And okay. Then you gotta look at that. I just shanked that one, by the way, right? So, well, you know, whatever. That happens. Even the pros do that. No, not a big deal. I'm not gonna add number of shots. Whatever, I shanked one. I'm hitting it where I'm looking. And so that's what I like. I might have went in. 5 shots here. Are you striking it where you want to strike it in terms of the sand? What's it doing? Is it coming out low? Is it coming out high? You're hitting it way behind the ball. That way you know what shots to play on the golf course if you're in the sand. If you're in the sand, short side, yourself in the bunker, guess what? Don't try to clip it right next to the ball and spin that thing, because that's not what was happening. Take what you got. Minimize damage. You got to know what kind of damage you're gonna expect to receive by being in the bunker. That's why we hit those 5 shots. A lot of places say no chipping, no chipping, no chipping. Not here at Champions Retreat. Beautiful short game chipping area. I'm gonna hit 5 to 7 chips. Just little guys, kind of easy ones. See what the green's doing. See what this little rough might look like. Here's the thing. People always say, well, why wouldn't you practice hard ones right before you go play? Because they're hard. I don't want anything that's gonna steal my confidence. I'm gonna go short side myself. Like, you have plenty of those opportunities on the golf course. This is the opportunity to gain confidence, right? So I'd really want to say, yeah, this is an easy chip. I'm practicing the easiest, just off. Okay, maybe this is hard for you. Then go to some that are easy. You want to build confidence, not, give it away. Little guy, chip him up next to the hole. Last one here. I'm gaining confidence. That's it. That's the goal of this. It's not practice. Again, you had all week to do that. There's plenty of videos I have to help your chipping game. Now is not the time. We're about to go play. We gotta warm up our putting and get that where it needs to be in a very specific way. Now it's time to do one of the most, if not the most important thing, is warm up our putting. 3 balls. Unless there's a lot of guys out here, then it's 2. First thing I do is just take a few strokes, 3 strokes, 15-foot putt upon walking on the green, just to see what's going down right out of the gate. That's the first thing I do. What am I doing? That's what I want to know. Is there anything weird going on? Now I do something that I think is really critical to help learn about who we are as putters for the day. This is the only time I'm using any type of training aid or anything when I warm up, is right here putting. Because it's just gonna give me some really key information. This is probably the easiest area, not, let's say, to change anything, but just to fix something or adjust, make sure things are working properly. So I'm gonna take my hack motion sensor here, and I use this for full swing, everything. I'll leave a link in the video description below for these. They're not cheap, but they're useful for many areas of the game. And specifically, they've got this awesome putting stuff that I really love. So we're just gonna open the putting. I just wanna see how stable my putting is. So, mark a medium putt distance. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So, I don't know, doesn't really matter. This is just gonna show me what I'm doing. Put my line down, align my ball, continue, here we go. Start calibration. All right, we're good, we're all calibrated. Start practicing. All right, it's just gonna give me like a 10 putt overview. So, what is this? 10 feet, maybe less. Okay, and it's giving me some important information. Tempo, how fast my stroke is. How stable my wrists are. With the lab putter, I would hope they'd be very stable. All right. I like that. I'll pull that out. This is the only training aid I'm looking at. I definitely want those green numbers. Are better. They're just helping me with my tempo. Yeah, so whatever I did there was excellent in terms of tempo. So this is just a 10 putt little drill that, for me, just helps me kind of get the party started. Especially on these ones. These are kind of the ones that, hey, you need to make these. I'm missing all of them. That's a good one. And as I do it, I'm really focused on hitting the center of the ball with the center of the putter while having good tempo time and just kind of seeing what my numbers are giving me today. Is there anything glaringly horrible? No, it's pretty good. Sometimes you're way too slow, sometimes you're way too quick. Okay, my overview is ready. Okay, this is just what I want to know. I want the data here so I know what I'm looking at. I'm too extended, all right, so that's a little too flexion, extension. So I'm a little too extended. It's good to know. That will kind of push it right if you're too extended here. That was my miss, right? You saw that, it was a little bit going right. All good in terms of rotating this way. So that's a good sign. You don't want too much face rotation. So if anything, I get too much flexion here, too extended. And my timing, my downswing is too fast. So I'm a little too quick hitting the ball. Okay, that's all I want to know. It's like, hey, a little more stable wrist action and work on my tempo. So now I'm done with this part of it. Kind of the first thing we do on the putting green, put this away, finish up our putting, and then we're ready to hit the course. Information gathered, received, internalized. So a little bit longer putt now, 15 footer. Don't get too, like, I don't need to really work on too much, but I'm not gonna like do this, right? And just try to have a good rhythm, tempo, timing. Now I'm just focused on break of green. What's the break doing? Great. Breaking a lot from this angle. Oh. So, playing Bermuda greens here, Champions Retreat. So, I like this. I want to see the grain, it's growing this way, and how much it's affecting the break of the ball. So many people just randomly show up and throw balls around and just putt in some random order. No, I'm doing this 15-footer again, reading grain. And just trying to keep the same rhythm, tempo, timing that I felt was good through my hack motion sensor. I left that one a little short. But you can see it's starting to come together. Okay, moving on. Now we just 15-footer. Let's go 25 feet. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go 3 that direction, 3 this direction, just so I get an idea of right to left and left to right, same distance, grain growing this way, what's it do in both cases? So that's something I just wanna kinda feel out while I work on speed. All right, now that broke right. And I was playing to break left. Breaks left at the beginning, right at the end. Don't worry if you come up short. It's a myth that every putt needs to get to the hole. We all have a putting dispersion circle. And so we want to stay within that circle. If everything is past the hole, then your circle goes beyond the hole, meaning your perimeter ones on the other side of the circle are going to be pretty far away from the hole. Whereas if some are short, some are long, everything is within a circle. All those are within my perimeter circle. It's not about making these to shoot a better score. You're avoiding 3-putting. That makes you shoot lower scores. Yeah, I thought it would be a lot faster going this way, and it is. So the grain is growing down and this way. So, make my adjustment. And there we go, great speed. I'll take that. So this way is much trickier on speed, it's down grain. All right, I don't need to grind that out. It is what it is. I'm not even putting these out. Let's grab these. Let's be honest with ourselves. The average distance you're gonna be to the hole when you hit a green in regulation is like 30 feet. That's gonna be your birdie putt on average for like a pretty good player. If you're not that good of a player, you're gonna have a shorter shot, but it's gonna be for par or bogey. So, good players, a lot of times, this is your birdie putt. So hit a few of these. This is kind of like hitting your driver swing. You're training yourself to hit putts. So I'm definitely gonna want to get some long ones. We're gonna go 30 feet there, 30 feet back. I do not put those out. You do not want 3 putts in your practice routine. So don't do it. I'm just trying to internalize the speed going into and down grain. And trying to just absorb what that grain does and how much it affects the ball. And how I'm striking these. So now, this is going to be the last thing I do right before I hit the course. Take these little 3-4 footers. I'm just going to use my line it up at the hole where I think it's going to break. Do my pre-shot routine. And these are the ones I want to hole out. But just get a feel for, hey man, how am I hitting these? How's that line rolling? So that line rolled perfectly. So I'm like, okay, so the only thing I did wrong was maybe I just played too much break. So come in there again and do the same thing. Maybe I didn't play enough break, but I'm really focused on that line on the ball. How am I rolling that? There. And then these, yeah, perfect distance by the hole. And I'll hit a few of these. I'll go around the hole over here. Just moving a little bit side to side, maybe a little farther away. You're gonna have a lot of these for par. This might be a bogey putt. It's typically not a birdie putt, but you never know, right? Could be. So what are you doing there? You got a little right to lefter, and you want to feel it. Say, okay, did I push that? That's that extension coming in. There you go. No extension. So I just want to feel all this here. Release the club, basically, right? Beautiful. Now what you do, first tee, forget everything and go play golf.
My friend, play well.
I'm playing against Jerry Carey today.
Good ball. All right. Good ball, man.
Love you guys. See you next time.